promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Any verbal, written, or physical conduct related to race, gender, ethnicity, disability, sexual orientation, or religion shall not be tolerated and could subject the violator to ejection and may result in penalties being assessed against your team. Each one is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this competition at a high level of good sportsmanship. Reminder fans that if you're in search of some snacks, candy, water, soda, you can purchase those items at the main entrance where you came into East Gymnasium. Bathrooms are also located to the right side of East Gym on the side opposite of the storage table. Today's game and every game of the 2022 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament are being broadcast for free, live and on demand on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Search Fort Lee Athletics to find replays of previous days as well as live action. Welcome to today's game featuring the Memorial Tigers and the Riverdale Golden Hawks. Now let's meet the starting lineup first for Riverdale. Number 2, Chris Nastasi. Number 11, Jack Carey. Number 22, Matt Kelleher. Number 24, Sean Golden. And number 25, Hamilton Roth. And the head coach of Riverdale is Ron Van Sanders. Now the starting lineup for the Memorial Tigers. Number 1, Ariel Trejo. Number 2, Fernando Hernandez. Number 5, Edward Lugo. Number 10, Elliot Nager. And number 24, Gina Boykins. And the head coach of Memorial is Steve Leon. Now let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here to East Gymnasium on the campus of Fort Lee High School in Bergen County, New Jersey, as this is the third place matchup between Memorial, the Tigers 2-4 on the season. They are designated as today's home team, taking on the Riverdale Golden Hawks, who are in their black and gold and are 4-2 on the year. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Long, courtside next to Renee Matisich, our camera operator, as well as our producer, Dimitri Nanis. Glad you could join us on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Both these teams came up short in their quest for the championship round, losing in the semifinals. Memorial lost to host team Fort Lee by a score of 50-42 after defeating Secaucus in the quarterfinals, while Riverdale lost to North Bergen 55-41 in the semis after dispatching Bergenfield in the quarters. Roth and Boykins will tip it off, and Roth will win it backwards, and Riverdale will start on offense in the second game of day number 3. Riverdale really struggled offensively against the pressure defense of North Bergen. We'll see if they can fare better against another Hudson County opponent here today. Golden's hook shot left short, rebounded inside by Lugo. After a good start in the first quarter against Fort Lee, Memorial really ran out of gas offensively. They're going to be looking for a big game from that man, number 2, Fernando Hernandez. His first layup attempt, though, rolled in and out. Hernandez had 17 points in the loss against Fort Lee. Up top, straightaway shot, and that's the third consecutive game that has seen Chris Nastasi open up the scoring for Riverdale, as he gets the Golden Hawks in front by a score of 2-0. Foot on the line. Nager getting it over now. Long range 3, knocked down by Ariel Trejo. Trejo really couldn't get going until late in that game against Fort Lee. Finished with 7 points after erupting for 16 in their quarterfinal win against Secaucus. That's that secondary score that Coach Leon desperately is looking for. as that's going to be a foul whistled underneath against Edward Lugo of Memorial. That'll be the first team foul for either team with 6:36 left to go here in the first. 3-2 lead for Memorial. Sean Golden, the big man taking his defender off the dribble, outletted over to Carey. Carey unleashes from deep, bounces out in the corner, and Coach Leon wants his team to push the pace whenever given the chance. Nager across the lane, bounce pass off the foot of a defender. Last touch out of bounds off of Riverdale, so possession will stay on the baseline on offense for Memorial. 2-4 on the season, had their 2-game win streak snapped in their 8-point defeat against Fort Lee on Wednesday night. Boykins open for the long-range jumper, no good. Rebound secured by the point guard, Nastasi. Riverdale also had a 2-game win streak snapped in their loss 55-41 against North Bergen. Nastasi, fadeaway jumper, no good. Golden tries to save it, saves it at the feet of Trejo. They push it up the floor. Nager, who had 3 threes against Fort Lee, starts off here with a bang. He connects on the second made 3 of the game for Memorial. They've gone on a 6-0 spurt, now lead Riverdale 6-2. And they always get a loud bench in full throat in support. Here's Roth with a high arcing 3. So the threes are falling in bunches so far between these two teams in the first quarter. We have seen 3 made 3s between the two sides. Hernandez trying to take his man off the dribble, left the ball behind. Here's Kelleher down the floor, and that's going to be a blocking foul as Boykins could not clearly get his chest in front of the defensive play. And it's going to get called for the block, and it's going to be Kelleher going to the line for 2. Matt Kelleher, the sharpshooter for this Riverdale side, has scored 31 points in 2 tournament games so far for the Golden Hawks. Almost automatic at the foul line as well. He went 6 for 6 at the stripe against North Bergen in the semifinals. 14 points for Kelleher in the losing effort. Again, 2 for 2 and making it look quite easy. 5-0 run for Riverdale as the Golden Hawks back in front, this time 7-6. And that time a foul whistled on the baseline as that'll go against Hamilton Roth. Roth picks up his first, team's first for Riverdale. Memorial a season ago went 2-1 in the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament in 2021. Secured wins against Bergenfield and Sea Caucus. Their only loss came against eventual champions Kennedy. Lost in their first game by 1, 64-63, and had a shot that could have won the game, rim in and out against the Knights. Outlet straightaway 3 off the back iron, and that hit into the stanchion above the rim. So that's a violation that will give the ball back over to Riverdale. So Memorial was trying to be dead set on maybe producing already their 3rd made 3 of the game. 4:48 left to go in the first, 7-6 lead for Riverdale. Trying to go to 5-2 with a win on the season. Hernandez combining with Lugo to pick the pocket of Kelleher. Loose ball tie-up. And are they going to say a timeout or possession arrow? It looks like it's going to be a timeout. Possession was granted, and the timeout given to Memorial to save possession as the ball will go back over to the Tigers. Memorial a season ago, fans went 14-12 overall, advanced to the opening round of the North 1 Group 4 sectional playoffs before eventually losing to Hackensack. Bergen County opponent in the Comets. Memorial finished 5th overall in the Hudson County HCIAL American Division with an 8-8 league record. They will have their fellow league rival in North Bergen playing for the tournament championship later on tonight here at 7 p.m. against Fort Lee. Riverdale defeated Fort Lee in the regular season this year. So if Memorial had won last night, they could have set up a matchup against their league rival in the championship. Also would have set a rematch between Fort Lee and Riverdale, but Fort Lee outlasted Memorial, and now there's a travel on that far baseline, far sideline, I should say. It's going to be a turnover right out of the timeout, and Coach Leon's not going to be happy about that. Memorial generates a lot of their offense off of turnovers forced. You can see this full court pressure that the Tigers are administering here coming up in the midway points of the first quarter. Riverdale fundamentally sound. They were out of their elements a bit by North Bergen's harassing defense. Now trying to operate in the half-court offense themselves here. Quick ball movement. High-low on the baseline. Roth maneuvers inside. No good. Golden with the putback, and the second time's the charm. Sean Golden continues his impressive tournament. Here's a shot from deep. No good. Memorial really uncorking a lot of threes. Size advantage clearly in Riverdale's favor here, with Golden and Roth each head and shoulders above any Memorial player. So a lot of these shots have been from distance so far. Here's Hernandez again trying his luck. Front rims that one. 9-6 lead for Riverdale. Kelleher left open. He's the three-point shooter. No good. Tipped out in the corner, but saved right into the hands of Riverdale. Here's Roth on the baseline. Pull-up jumper. No good. Nager comes in to save the day with a rebound in the paint. Outlet down the other way to Lugo. Transition three. Nager pulls up. He left that one short. So now after Memorial had a hot start from deep, things have cooled off a bit here, as Riverdale has just been trying to pound it inside themselves on offense. Nastasi comes around the corner, pulls up, mid-range jumper, no good. Roth, no, it's going to be Golden. Called for an over-the-back foul inside, and that'll be an offensive foul against Golden. Golden's first. That'll be the team's second, each team with 2 fouls apiece. Just over 2.5 minutes left to go in the first. Hernandez. Nager, who has a 3. Trying to hand it off to Hernandez, but over the back. Backcourt violation, as Fernando Hernandez has been bottled up so far. He had 10 points off the bench in the first game of this tournament against Secaucus, and then was a dynamo. 17 points to lead the way for Memorial in the semifinal loss against Fort Lee. He's not scored yet in this game, coming up in the final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Roth on the baseline to Golden. Golden pulls up for the mid-range jumper, no good. Here's Hernandez in the open floor. And that's going to be a bump foul against Riverdale. And is that going to go against Hamilton Roth? And that has been the concern for number 25 in black and gold in this tournament. He has picked up early fouls in each of these games. The talented senior who had 7 points against North Bergen, 11 against Bergenfield, will now have to sit after picking up his second foul. 1:59 left to go in the quarter. Memorial with only 6 points on offense so far here in the quarter. Yet they're only down by 3. Their defense has been keeping them in the game. Trejo tickles the twine with a nice-looking 3. That's his second made 3 of the quarter. He's got 6 of Memorial's 9 points, and we're tied at 9-9. Vincent Dornheim is coming to the game, but gets his pocket picked, and that leads to a breakout layup on the other end of the floor for Edward Lugo, as Lugo has a chance at a 3-point play with a hoop in the arm. And Lugo will go to the line to try to complete this 3-point effort. 5 unanswered points in the game for Memorial have staked the Tigers back in front, this time at 11-9. Lugo had 12 points in the first game against Secaucus, but was held to only 5 points against Fort Lee. Missed on the foul shot. Memorial will still be in front by 2 now, 11-9. Approaching the final minute of the quarter. Kelleher contended with that layup. Now to Richardson, who's just checked into the game. Riverdale good with their transitional defense getting back in time with now under a minute left to go. Lugo with a hesitation dribble, feeding Boykins on the baseline. Larson Walker bodies him up. Boykins up and under move, no good. Fouls his own miss inside. Walker fouls him, and Boykins nearly completed the layup himself, but hard work underneath for Jada Boykins will earn number 24 a trip to the foul line himself with 42.6 seconds left to go in the first, and Riverdale now has committed 5 fouls in this first quarter. Boykins knocks in the first made foul shot. Had 4 points in the loss in the semis against Fort Lee, 2 points in the opening round game against Secaucus. Second foul shot also good for Boykins. So Memorial continues their run. They once were trailing 9-6. It's now a 13-9 lead for the Tigers. A 7-0 run for Memorial. Closing into the final 30 seconds of the opening quarter. Nastasi playing it up top. Now to Kelleher. Watched closely by Michael Richardson. Once again, Riverdale really struggling in the half-court offense. No one coming free. Nastasi across the lane, pull-up jumper, rims in and out. Unlucky with that. Little English on the end of that jump shot. Boykins with 5 seconds on the clock, getting it over to Robert Diaz. Here's Boykins, stutter steps, floats it up, and the big man couldn't get it to go. As that'll end the first quarter of play with Memorial on top of Riverdale by a score of 13-9. We'll be back just after this for the start of the second quarter here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. As we've seen throughout this tournament, two of the teams that play their basketball in Hudson County in the American Division, they play with a calling card of defense and hard-nosed defense at that. Memorial and North Bergen get after you. And it's been an adjustment for some of their opponents here of how to handle that constant pressure in the midst of their face. And Riverdale struggling a little bit here after the first 8 minutes of play. 13-9 as Memorial finished off that quarter on a 7-0 run. Ariel Trejo, number 1 in white, big quarter, 6 points in the first quarter. For Trejo, again, only at 7 total points against Fort Lee. He's looking for more here, another 3, this time a little too far outside his shooting area. Hand check call against Fernando Hernandez. Hernandez picks up the foul, team's third, his first. Kelleher over the near side. The leading scorer in that quarter for Riverdale was Hamilton Roth, but Roth picked up 2 quick personal fouls. I don't know when we'll see number 25 come back into the game. Golden inside the zone. Lofts it up, no good. Riverdale has had a couple of shot opportunities, just haven't gotten him the fall inside. Nager pulls up for 3. Got it! Elliot Nager now with his second made 3 of the game. He's got 6. Transitional bucket there, and it's now a 10-0 run dating back to the first quarter for Memorial. They stretch their lead out to 7. Golden, nice post move there for the junior. Falling away and banking it in. 4 points for Golden. That finally ends that 10-0 run for Memorial. Trejo getting it back up top to Lugo. Nager in the corner. Now Boykins on the near side post. Hernandez, again, still scoreless despite his team being in front by 5. And that's going to be a moving screen up top against Memorial. Offensive foul. Possession will go over on the turnover, back to Riverdale. 4th team foul of the half against Memorial. Fort Lee has committed 5 fouls of their own. Two minutes into the start of this second quarter. Matthew Scipione is coming to the game, number 3 in black and gold, wearing the white headband. Kelleher to the near side, watched by Nager. Again, Kelleher averaging 15.5 points per game in this tournament. Only 2 so far. Listen to how active this defense is, but it eventually gets in the hands of the senior, Matthew Scipione. Scipione now with his first 2 points and a travel call, as Memorial now starting to get unsettled a bit here. They've had offensive fouls and turnovers alike, and now Riverdale is starting to ratchet up their defense a bit. And here's the trust being shown in senior Hamilton Roth. Comes back into this game, number 25, playing with 2 personal fouls at 5:25 left to go in the first half. Here's Golden on the baseline. Up top to Carey. Golden setting the screen. Carey fumbling it. Scipione. Up top to Golden. Golden trying to take his defender off the dribble. And it looks like it's going to be a foul whistled on the floor against Trejo. 5 fouls apiece now between the two sides. 5:07 left before halftime. Golden trying to carve out, has the mismatch inside, and Golden just can't get it to fall. The runner across the right side of the lane. Now timeout granted to Coach Leon, as his player held possession of the ball on the floor and didn't want to give it the tie-up. Possession arrow does favor Riverdale. So Golden has had a couple of great looks inside, and it's been the case for Riverdale. They've gotten some good looks, just have not been able to finish, and the majority of them. 16-13 still the lead here for Memorial. Riverdale a season ago went 15-11 overall, advancing to the North 1 Group 3 quarterfinals before losing to Paramus. That was after they had eliminated Wayne Hills from the postseason. Last season, Riverdale finished tied for 3rd in the Big North Patriot Division. Pascack Hills eventually won that league championship. And a season ago, the Golden Hawks were originally supposed to be part of that initial tournament field, but they had to bow out on the day of the first day of the event with COVID. They were eventually replaced at the last second by Kennedy, and Kennedy would go on to win the tournament championship in a win over Fort Lee. You're watching coverage of this 3rd place game between Memorial and Riverdale. Memorial from West New York, Riverdale from Oradell. Hudson County, Bergen County showdown here for 3rd place. Hernandez off the dribble, kick out, corner 3 ball for Nager. That is his 3rd 3 of the first half. He had 3 made threes in the semifinal loss against Fort Lee. He's got a game high 9. Back to that active 2-3 zone. In the corner for Roth. Leads for Kelleher's 3, no good. Lugo looks for the outlet quickly the other way. Hernandez open for 3. He sets and fires, no good. Rebound caroms out into the hands of Kelleher. Kelleher hands it off. Splitting the double team, Scipione. Into the corner to Roth. Defender with a hand in the face there for big number 25. Carry across the lane, floater, again, rattles in and out. Foul whistled, and that's going to be an over-the-back foul underneath against Riverdale. And I believe the foul was called against Golden. And for Golden, that's going to be his second foul. They said that he went over the back. He's still protesting the call and will find his way to the bench. 19-13 Memorial leads past the midway points of this second quarter. Memorial doing all this without Hernandez getting on the board just yet. Missed on his opening layup attempt, just missed on a three moments ago. Here's Hernandez, dribble drive, kick out, and hesitation there by Lugo. And that hesitation cost him as he gets called for the travel. How can Riverdale solve this issue of the Memorial defense? They shift out into a man-to-man look, but they've also been active in pressure 2-3 zone looks. Here's Roth. Pull up from 16. No good. Everything in the perimeter. Nastasi, though, cleans up inside, but missed on the putback attempt. That's something that Riverdale has to execute if they get those opportunities. Here's another three for Nager. No good. And that's going to be an over-the-back foul against Trejo, and we'll see how many fouls that is against Trejo. At least two by my count. Trejo will have to go to the Memorial bench. 3:06 left to go in the first half. Anthony Franco will come in for him. Each team committing 6 fouls apiece. Kelleher, nice dribble drive, and again, just left it short on the layup. Here's Hernandez in the open floor. Saw that he had the mismatch against Walker, but pulled it out. Almost a turnover here for Memorial. They get back to it in time. Lugo with a head of steam into the corner. Defender flies by. There's a three. No good. Diaz was trying to dial it in. Now Kelleher races out. Kelleher gets it away from Hernandez. And Matt Kelleher works hard. Defense leads the offense. Kelleher with 4 in the half. Back to a 4-point lead for Memorial. So as tough as it's been for Riverdale offensively, again, their defense has kept them in this game. Lugo with the left hand. Nager watched by Nastasi. Switching off, Scipione now watching him. Hernandez into the defender. Nager straight away. No good. Knew he missed it. Was trying to foul his own miss immediately. Out in space now to Roth. Here, the constant communication going on between the defense, and that leads to another turnover. Scipione was cutting towards the rim. The pass went backwards behind him and out of bounds. 1:36 left to go before halftime. Memorial leading 19-15. They led 13-9 after one. Riverdale has produced only 6 points so far here in the quarter. Memorial produced 13 points in the first quarter. Have produced only 6 themselves here in quarter number 2. Carey extending the defense. Hernandez over to the near side of Diaz. Now back up top to Lugo. Kicking out of the corner. Franco on the baseline. Pulls up, contorts the body. Hard shot. Missed it. Pinballs around and Carey collects the board. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Diaz all over Kelleher. Now Nastasi. Carey switched off, watched by Hernandez. 40 seconds remaining in the half. Great man-to-man defense once again on this possession by Memorial. They are shadowing Riverdale every step of the way. Now Kelleher thinking that he has the setup that he wants in the mismatch. Riverdale tried to hold for one final shot of the half. Scipione across the lane, dribble drive underneath. Dornheim tried to sneak in there and missed the layup. Last touch, though, out of bounds off of Memorial. So it's going to be possession here on offense. Coach Van Saders will use that opportunity to bring his big man, Hamilton Roth, back into the game here for this offensive possession. Playing with 2 fouls. 19-15. He'll trigger the inbound. Up top to Carey. Now Kelleher will pull it out with 10 seconds remaining here in the half. Picks up his dribble. Roth on the baseline. Passing it, stolen away by Nager. And Memorial will end the first half with another defensive play and a steal. So Memorial will hold Riverdale to 15 total points in the first half and will take a 19-15 lead with them into the halftime locker room. Stick around, fans, as we'll be back for the start of the second half of play as you're watching coverage of the third place game of the 2022 Jack Reilly Holiday Basketball Tournament here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of the second half. Memorial on top of Riverdale here in our third place game by a score of 19-15. Taking a look at the stats from the first half of play, Elliot Nager, number 10, was the leading scorer for both teams. He had a game-high 9 points on 3 made three-pointers in the first half for the Tigers. Ariel Trejo right behind him with 6 points on 2 made threes. Jada Boykins and Edward Lugo each with 2 points apiece. And leading scorer in this tournament, Fernando Hernandez, still held scoreless in that first half of play for Coach Steve Leon. For Riverdale on the other side, the Golden Hawks are being led by 4-point efforts of both Matt Kelleher and Sean Golden. 3 points for Hamilton Roth, 2 points for Chris Nastasi, and 2 points off the bench for Matthew Scipione. Both Hamilton Roth and Sean Golden were each in a bit of foul difficulty in the first half for the Golden Hawks, and Matt Keller has just really not been able to get going with his outside shooting just yet for Riverdale. Memorial was 2 of 3 from the foul line in the first half, while Riverdale only went there twice and were a perfect 2 for 2. The difference in this game, Memorial knocking down 5 made threes in the first half, while Riverdale only was able to knock down 1. Defense was impenetrable at times for Memorial. Riverdale really struggling in the half-court offense. Riverdale will be designated as the road team. They are in their black and gold while defending in the home white. With the black numbers outlined in orange are the Tigers of Memorial. Underway for the start of the second half of play, Dan Long, Renee Matisich, and Dimitri Nanis, here courtesy of Fort Lee Athletics on their YouTube channel. Golden turnaround shot draws the contact as he was fading away, and that will set up Golden with a chance at the foul line early for early points here to begin the second half. A lot of in and out shots in that first half for Riverdale. They were lining it up, just couldn't get it to fall. Golden swishes home the first made foul shot. He's now up to 5 points in the game, leading scorer for Riverdale. Golden had 16 points in a win in the quarterfinals against Bergenfield, and then chipped in 10 points in the semifinal loss against North Bergen. He was effective here at the foul line in the semis, went 6 of 7 at the foul line. Rims in and out of that time. Rebound by Boykins, so Golden will settle for the 1. Lead is down to a 3-point advantage, 19-16. Hernandez is known for his dribble drive penetration moves, and there he goes. Got past that initial defender and carry, just has not gotten the teardrop to fall. He was so effective in beating past the Fort Lee defense as well and getting that just runner in the lane to fall. And he had 17 points in that win. They had 10 points all in the second half of their first game against Bergenfield. Now it's going to be a blocking foul on the baseline against Hamilton Roth. Roth will pick up the foul. That should be his third personal foul, and Roth will have to quickly become a visitor to this game. He'll come off, and Scipione has come back on. Hernandez passing it up top to Nager. Boykins. Nastasi tries to draw the offensive foul, no call. Kick out, straightaway 3 by Lugo, no good. Trying to secure the rebound is Kelleher, and he'll snatch it down for Riverdale. Nastasi watched by Hernandez. Trying the entry feed down low, and even though it looked like it was getting stolen away, a foul whistled from behind on a hold. Looks like the foul will go against Jada Boykins, who was holding on to the back of fellow number 24, Sean Golden. 2 fouls apiece now for both teams, starting off here with just 1 minute and 1 second gone by. Corner 3 ball for Kelleher. Air ball, rare miss, let alone an air ball for Kelleher. Just didn't have his feet underneath him there as he quickly tried to fire that 3 from the near side, from the far side corner. It remains a 3-point lead for Memorial. Memorial's a team that has not been able to score a lot this year. They've averaged only 42 points a game, and that time Another turnover by Anthony Franco who's coming to the game. Seen only 1 point so far here in the second half. On a made foul shot by this man, Sean Golden. And Golden gets called for the extra step, trying to beat past his defender. So both teams a very sloppy start to the second half. Not able to get any real semblance of consistency on offense yet. Couple of subs here by Coach Leon, trying to get the message across to a couple of his starters. Boykins and Trejo back in after being subbed off the floor just over the last possession. Pressure here from Riverdale. Golden steps up and forces the turnover. Golden going the other way, and one. And a chance to tie this game up. Sean Golden now up to 7 points. He's got all 3 points in the second half for Riverdale. And Memorial was trying to flop their way into an offensive foul, but Trejo was falling backwards before Golden even initiated the contact. And Golden continues his stellar play in this tournament. He's up to 8 points. And now it looks like a timeout going to be taken. 19-19 the score as Riverdale has run level with Memorial. After the Tigers had clawed their way to a lead in the second quarter and was holding on, Riverdale has fought their way back behind the efforts of Sean Golden. Golden with all 4 Riverdale points to start this second half of play as they've erased a 4-point halftime deficit. Our third game of day number 3 will be coming up after the conclusion of this one. That will be a matchup of 2 league rivals in the consolation bracket final between Clifton and Passaic. And as fate would have it, they will also be locking horns with one another after the new year in their first game of the regular season in league play. Clifton and Passaic will meet twice in the next couple of days, so that's going to be a fun one. Mustangs won yesterday against Bergenfields after dropping their opener against North Bergen. And then Passaic was able to outlast Secaucus after losing in their opener in this tournament. This is for third place. And another turnover on the full court pressure displayed by Riverdale. Nastasi, though, was denied by Boykins at the rim. So Memorial, the team that's really more well known for causing the turnovers and having those open floor opportunities. Now it's Riverdale using their defense to their full benefit. Now the Golden Hawks with a chance to take the lead. 5:50 left to go here in the third quarter as Kelleher pulls it out. Watched by Nager. Carey on the near side. And it's going to be a travel. And again, Scipione and Riverdale. So possession will go back to Memorial, and this full court pressure is really starting to play a part for Riverdale here. They have led to a couple of costly turnovers and bad decisions for the Tigers. Now they get it back into the hands of their point guard and the sophomore Hernandez. Lugo. Nager on the corner to the near side, and Nager knocks in his 4th 3 of the game. 12 points for number 10. He has been the scoring leader here today. Keller cuts through the defense, high arcing floater falls. Nice move to the rim there by number 22 in black and gold. Keller up to 6 points in the game himself, 22-21 Memorial leads. Boykins thought about momentarily the 3 opportunity from straight away. Now Lugo. Left-hand dribble across the lane. He got hit in the head as he was going up for the shot. And Edward Lugo will earn a chance to increase the lead for Memorial at the foul line. 4:56 left to go in the third. Third team foul against Riverdale. 3 team fouls for Memorial in this quarter as well, as we've yet to reach the midway point. as Lugo swishes home the first made foul shot. He's 1 of 2 at the line. Memorial began their season with 3 straight losses, 2 straight on the road, Watchung Hills and Union City, then lost at home against St. Peter's Prep before winning their first game against Lincoln. Then they added that win against Secaucus before losing against Fort Lee on Wednesday nights. Lugo 2 for 2 at the line in that trip to the line. He's 2 for 3 at the charity stripe in the game. 4 points for number 5 as Memorial has once again stretched their lead back to 3. Nastasi on the near baseline. Defender falls inside to Golden, and Golden lays it in. Again, clear size advantage for Riverdale, and Golden taking full advantage of that size. 10 points now for the junior. 24-23 Memorial. Lugo up top to Hernandez. Richardson, who's come back into the game. Lefty dribble across the lane, up and under, wild shot, no good. Racing after it to secure the rebound was Brian Sable. Possession kept alive by number 21, the senior off the bench, first appearance of the day. Lugo being watched by Carey. Hands it off, and it's going to be a blocking foul against Carey. Carey will have to come off as Dornheim will come on for him. 4th team foul against Riverdale here in the second half. Past the midway point of the quarter. 1-point game. Gamble attempt there by Riverdale. Nager trying to bounce it on the baseline to Boykins. Across the lane. Back up top to Nager. Nager for 3! 5th three-pointer of the game for Elliot Nager. He's been the deadliest three-point shooter in this entire tournament. Again, he had 3 made threes against Fort Lee. Give him now 8 threes in the last 2 games. 27-23 lead for Memorial. Most of their point production is coming from behind the arc here today. Give and go on the baseline. Memorial has shifted to their active 2-3 zone. Golden on the baseline. Lost the handle briefly. Whips that pass around the defense. Up top to Kelleher. Dropping it down low. Dornheim. Dornheim up and under move. Boykins stood tall, stayed his ground, and then the ensuing foul is going to be whistled, a push against Riverdale. And now the Golden Hawks have committed 5 team fouls here with still 3 minutes left to go in the third. Be a lot of foul shots the rest of the way in this one. Hernandez got caught up in the air in no man's land. Ticked away. Nice defensive work there by the Golden Hawks of Riverdale. Here's Kelleher. He picks up his dribble, looks for an outlet, gets it to Nastasi. Down low to Golden. Nice post move. Missed on the left-hand finish, though. And then a foul whistled against Golden after he was trying to get to the loose ball rebound. And Riverdale have been very frustrated anytime that they've been whistled for a foul in this game, especially the big guys. Golden and Roth have been protesting after every foul call against the officials. 27-23. So Golden will have to take a seat, at least for the remainder of the third quarter. That's at least his 3rd personal foul. Golden working on a big game, too. 10 points to lead the offense for Riverdale. Nager this time trying to take it the short route instead of trying the 3, but he went too high on the glass. We'll pick up the offense now as 2 of the frontline players for Riverdale glued to the bench. Kelleher, nice crossover, got some separation, and he fires it down. As that's going to be a long 2 there for Matt Kelleher. 8 points for number 22. Boykins made up his mind. He was going right to the rim, and that's going to be an over-the-back foul against Memorial. Inside with 1:43 left to go, and another foul. Trejo going to stay in this game. It looked like he was trying to make his way to the bench. He stays in. 4th team foul against Memorial. Fouls starting to pile up for both teams. As we approach the final 90 seconds of the third quarter, Dornheim turns around, takes the shot, didn't know how good he had it. As he unleashed that shot, and it's going to be last touch out of bounds off of Riverdale with 1:31 left to go in the third. Hernandez still scoreless in this game. Riverdale has done a great job on him. Robert Diaz handing off for Lugo. Lugo watched every step of the way, spinning his way to the rim, and he got fouled in the act of shooting. So that's going to be more foul shots for Memorial and another foul against Riverdale, and now Memorial's in the single bonus the rest of the way. That was deemed in the act of shooting, so it's going to be 2 shots, though, for Edward Lugo. Lugo missing on the foul shot. He's 2 of 4 from the line. Roth will come back in for the final 1:08 of the quarter. Second foul shot is good. Lugo goes 1 of 2 in that trip to the foul line. He's 3 of 5 at the charity stripe in this game. Lead once again back to 3 for Memorial, 28-25. Back to the 2-3 zone. Fort Lee has knocked down 1 3 in this game. Roth fade away on the baseline. That goes halfway down, but then rims out. Hernandez open, but maybe not set enough. That ends as an air ball 3 out of bounds, as he lets out a cry of frustration after missing on that 3. Under 40 seconds left to go in the quarter. Memorial led by 4 at halftime. The lead currently resides at 3. Roth again, baseline jumper, no good. Running in for the offensive rebound is Scipione, and it's going to be a reach-in foul underneath for Memorial. That'll be the 5th team foul against the Tigers. No box out there as Scipione just sprinted from behind and came in to collect that offensive rebound on the weak side. And it looks like it's going to be a timeout granted to Coach Ron Van Saters of Riverdale, as he'll want to draw something up here late in the third quarter with his team down by 3. You're watching all the action of this third place game here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Memorial leads 28-25. 21 of their 28 points have come from three-point shots. They have knocked down 7 threes in this game to only 1 made 3 for Riverdale. It's been a war of attrition between these two sides. 12 fouls in this third quarter alone. Scipione, watched by Hernandez. Good crossover there, as Hernandez was trying to poke it away. Richardson now watching Kelleher closely. Scipione over to the near side as Riverdale pulls it out. Roth plays a game of catch with Kelleher. Kelleher off balance, try to get a shot up, no contact on the call. And that will end the third quarter of play with Memorial still in front, this time by a 3-point margin, as we head to the fourth quarter here at East Gymnasium at Fort Lee. We head to the fourth quarter of this third place game between Memorial and Riverdale. The victor will finish in third and finish 2-1 for this tournament. Riverdale trying to go to 5-2 on the season. Memorial trying to go to 3-4. And once again, for the second straight year, go 2-1 in this Jack Reilly holiday event. Memorial of West New York in the whites with the tiger stripes down the side. Riverdale in the black and gold as they've worn throughout the entirety of this tournament. Dan Long, Renee Matisich, Dimitri Nanis on the call for this one here courtside. It's been a good one. Another low-scoring game as we've seen throughout this tournament. Not a lot of points between these teams. Off balance as that time Memorial was trying to draw contact in a foul, but referees knew that Lugo was initiating the contact himself. Turnaround shot as Hamilton Roth is fouled in the act of shooting, and that'll send Roth to the foul line to shoot a pair. Trying to make this a 1-point deficit for Riverdale. Won their opening games against Pascack Valley and Dwight Morrow before losing against Paramus Catholic. They bounced back with wins against Fort Lee and Bergenfield before losing to North Bergen. They compete in the Big North Patriot Division as Roth sinks the first foul shot. That division consists of Ramsey, Indian Hills, Riverdale, Westwood, Pascack Hills, and Mahwah. Roth goes 2 for 2 at the line. He's up to 5 points. First point since the first quarter for number 25. Back to a 1-point lead. Nager in the corner. He's been the sharpshooter. 5 3-pointers in this game for number 10 in white. Richardson up top straight away. Boykins for 3. The 8th 3-pointer of the game for Memorial. This time from their forward, Jada Boykins. He's got 5 points in the game. 31-27, lead back to 4. Back to the zone look on defense for the Tigers. Tried to bounce it to the high post at the foul line extended, but it was a kicked ball. Inbounds underneath the hoop now for Riverdale. 6:41 left to go in regulation. Memorial hit 5 3-pointers in the first half alone. They've now added to that total with 2 here in the second half. And that's going to be a travel against Roth right in front of his bench. 6:35 left to go in the fourth quarter. Dangerous pass brought in by Lugo after Nastasi was going to be trying to play a little defensive back there and try to pick it off for a layup. Up top now to Hernandez. Tries to slow it down. 13.5 points per game in this tournament, but scoreless so far in this one for number 2. Clean tie-up, last touch out of bounds off of Lugo. Active hands there by Nastasi. Tied up Lugo, the ball was left free, and Lugo got a piece of it before it went out of bounds. Great defense by both teams. This is a rock fight right now, 31-27. Nastasi, turnaround shot, short. Nager will track down the board. No real open shots here on either side. Hernandez hard to the rim. Got hung up in the air, was frustrated there at the end that he did not cap it off with an and one opportunity, but that will at least send Fernando Hernandez to the foul line to try to break his scoreless run with the start of this game. 8th team foul against Riverdale. Deemed to be in the act of shooting, so 2 shots. And Hernandez continues his tough afternoon, spinning that one in and out. That time, Hernandez switches it home, goes 1 of 2 at the line, gets on the scoreboard. His first point. Now Memorial extending their lead to 5, 32-27. Golden to Roth. Across the lane, it's Carey. Carey drops it in. Jack Carey's first made basket of the game makes it a 3-point advantage for Memorial. Against a 2-3 zone look, you have to find that cutter across the middle of the lane, and Richardson was open but shuffled his feet as he was thinking about going straight down Broadway. A careless turnover there from Memorial. Now Riverdale has a chance here to potentially tie the game. Down by 3, 32-29. Golden up top to Keller. Roth has the mismatch inside, but he got short on the hook shot. He had Nager pinned underneath the rim, but he could not complete it. Missed layup, though, by Lugo on the other side keeps this a 3-point lead for Memorial. Neither team able to cap off point-blank opportunities inside and in tight. Golden on the baseline to the far side. Dishes it out to Kelleher. Nager extends the defense out to him. Kelleher is the best three-point shooter on this Riverdale side. Euro steps, kicks out, corner three ball, no good. Nastasi trying to race in and try to get that offensive rebound. Instead, he had to tip it off his hands, out of bounds. Possession goes back over to Memorial as we're closing in on the midway points of the fourth quarter. 4:09 left to go. Memorial leading by 3, 32-29. It's really felt like a one-possession game in the majority of the second half. Carey with the steal, but got his shot swatted away. But then a pushing foul whistled against Memorial. That's going to be the 7th team foul against the Tigers, and a 1-on-1 opportunity now for Riverdale. And did Trejo just foul out of this game? And it looks like that is the case. Seriel Trejo had such a hot start to this game with 6 points, all coming in the first quarter. Trejo with that pushing foul underneath the rim has fouled out of this game. So the senior will finish with 6 points with 4:04 left to go in regulation. And now it's going to be a 1-on-1 for Riverdale at the foul line. Carey with 2 points in this fourth quarter. Now a big 1-on-1. Missing on the front end. That's a big miss. Rebound collected by Boykins. Under 4 minutes left to go. Lugo dumping off down low. Boykins, rather than going straight up, took a weird route to the rim, and that allowed Roth to come back and block his shot. Here's Roth now. Not getting it to his frontline counterpart, Golden. Golden is angry underneath. Claps his hands in frustration, wondering why he didn't get the pass from his teammate. And now it's going to be a foul underneath on a hook against Memorial after Golden was trying to carve out the space down low. So here come the fouls, and here come the foul shots that come with them. Another tight game. We saw our first game of the day go to overtime. Eventually was won 44-40 by Bergenfield. This is our second game of the day, and it's been a one-possession game for the majority of this second half. 32-29, and now Sean Golden to the line. Golden missing just like his other teammate on the front end of the 1-and-1. Points being kept off the board here. Missed foul shots, will they loom large for Riverdale? The lead remains 3 for Memorial. Up top to Hernandez. Well, Hernandez try to take over this game. Here's Nager. He's got 5 made threes in the game. That one was halfway down. Good hustle on the boards there by Franco. Possession kept alive here on offense after Franco got the offensive rebound. Hernandez across the lane, and that's going to be a travel, trying to jump stop and hook it around the defense on the bottom of the rim, but in doing so shuffled his feet as well. Another turnover here for Memorial. 32-29, anyone's ball game here. Riverdale struggling mightily offensively once again against a Hudson County opponent. But they still are within striking distance of pulling this one out for what would be their 5th win of the season. Golden across the lane, and that's going to be a reach-in foul against Memorial. That's going to be the 19th foul, and once again, it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation that'll see Golden head to the line. Riverdale has missed the front end of their last 2 1-on-1s. They will be in the double bonus now on any subsequent foul in this game. Once again, a missed foul shot on the front end of a 1-on-1 for Riverdale. Memorial is so fortunate that they have remained in front here, still by a 3-point margin. Riverdale has not helped themselves out on the missed foul shots. Across the lane, Lugo lipped that one in and out. Hung on the front of the rim, just couldn't get it to fall. Still remains a 1-possession game, 32-29. Now we come up on 2 minutes left to go here in regulation. Nastasi bottled up on the far baseline, kicks it out to Kelleher. Corner 3 for Roth. He got it! And the game is tied up at 32 all. Hamilton Roth now 8 points in the game. He's got both of the threes for Riverdale. And Roth, he knew that he took the bad angle on that one as Lugo got the pass and was not able to turn the corner. That's going to set up a 1-on-1 on this end of the floor for Memorial. Lugo with a chance to give his team back the lead with 97 seconds left to go in regulation. And he misses the front end of the 1-on-1, but tracks down his own miss, but gets it stolen away by Kelleher. Tough foul shooting for both teams here in the fourth quarter. 32-32, Riverdale looking for their first lead since back in the first half. Kelleher getting it back up top to Carey. Roth down low to Golden. Golden with the mismatch. Franco behind him. Golden turnaround and scores! Sean Golden. First points of the fourth quarter. Riverdale on top, 34-32. Franco, good ball movement. Nager, corner 3 ball. Hit off the top of the side of the backboard. He rushed that one as Kelleher was closing out on him. 40 seconds left to go. Memorial trying to force a turnover. A timeout granted to Riverdale as the Golden Hawks saw that the pressure was coming. They want to talk things over and try to get their players in space and force Memorial to have to foul. 34-32, Riverdale has come back here in the fourth quarter to take a 2-point lead. Hamilton Roth had the game-tying 3-point shot that leveled the score at that point to 32-32. And now the go-ahead bucket by Sean Golden has given the Golden Hawks the lead at 34-32 with under a minute left to go in regulation. Riverdale looking for their 5th win of the season, go 2-1 in this tournament. Memorial trying to come back and win their 3rd game of the year. Upcoming schedule for both sides. Memorial will host Bayonne on January 3rd after the new year, while Riverdale will host Ramsey, a team that is perfect 4-0 on the season, coming into play this afternoon. They'll be hosting the Rams in Oradell on January 3rd. It has been a fun one here today. Again, we had an overtime win by Bergenfield in our first game, and this one is potentially teetering on an overtime game here. 37.6 seconds still left to go. Both teams with 9 fouls apiece, so it's going to be double bonus for any next foul between both these teams. But foul shots have not been falling for both teams. They have been missing, and missing in the clutch situations as well, the front ends of ones and ones. Inbound is to Roth. Memorial trying to double him. Now lets it down the floor to Nastasi. Riverdale content with playing a game of keep away. You don't want to foul this man. And now it's going to be a reach-in foul against Hernandez, and Matt Kelleher, who has hit his last 8 consecutive foul shots in this tournament, will toe the line with 26.9 seconds left to go with a chance to give Riverdale a potential 4-point lead. Kelleher, there's the broadcaster jinx for you, saying how he had hit his last 8 consecutive foul shots in the tournament, then he misses on the front of this 2-shot foul. Rolls in the second one. 9 points in the game for Kelleher. 3-point lead for Riverdale, 35-32. Memorial has knocked down 8 threes in this game. They need another one to tie this one up. Hernandez across the lane. Hard contest, gets fouled on his way up by Carey. Now it's going to be 2 shots here for Fernando Hernandez. Only 1 point in this ball game for the point guard for Memorial. 1 of 2 at the line. Sinks the first. Makes this a 2-point game. 35-33. Both teams now in the double bonus. 2 shots the rest of the way on every foul. Hernandez will not have that foul shot count. That is going to be a lane violation, and that is a huge call and a huge mistake by Memorial. Timeout taken by Riverdale. Instead of this being a 35-34 game and putting your full court pressure on, instead the made foul shot is wiped off. Inbounds upcoming for Riverdale. 2-point lead, 35-33, with 15.9 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter of play. Again, stick around as we will be bringing you our third game of the day coming up shortly after this one has come to an end. Clifton taking on Passaic in matchup of 2 arch rivals in the consolation final on the consolation bracket side of this 2022 Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament, hosted by Fort Lee Athletics. Clifton versus Passaic. That's coming up in our third game, slated for a 5:15 start time. We'll be definitely starting a little after that initial time as this game is run long. And will this game be decided in regulation as well? If you're Memorial, you don't have that much time to use and to burn here, as you're going to be trying to obviously force a steal, force a trap. Possession arrow does favor Riverdale, though. So any tie-up would still be possession for the Golden Hawks. 15.9 seconds left to go. Any foul would be 2 shots on the other side for Riverdale. Inbound is to Nastasi to the far side. They quickly slap him down with the foul. 14.5 seconds left to go. And number 2, Chris Nastasi, the 5'10 guard, will make his way down the other way. All 3 tournament games here at Fort Lee, Nastasi has knocked down the first made basket for Riverdale. He had 2 points against North Bergen, 2 points here tonight. He had 9 points in the first game against Bergenfield, and he knocks down a clutch made foul shot. That extends his team's lead back to 3, 36-33, and this is where that lane violation is so huge for Memorial just moments ago. Made foul shot here would give Riverdale a 4-point lead. Again, Nastasi, ice water in the veins, knocks down a pair. 4-point lead. Memorial has to hustle down the floor. They drop it off into Richardson underneath. That'll stop the clock for the timeout at 8.2 seconds left to go. Nice drive and dish there from Fernando Hernandez to Michael Richardson underneath. Richardson's first made basket of the game. Again with the timeout, 8.2 seconds remaining. 37-35, Riverdale in front. If they inbound the ball and just hit their foul shots, Golden Hawks will be coming out of here with the victory here this afternoon. We'll have a championship final at 7 p.m. as Fort Lee is going to be taking on North Bergen for the 2022 Holiday Championship game. Last year, Fort Lee put up a fight against Kennedy, but eventually fell by 9 against the Knights. Will this be the year that Coach Adam Schrager's Bridgman will come away with a victory here at East Gymnasium, where they've been perfect this year? Out of the timeout, Riverdale with the inbounds. 8.2 seconds left to go. Inbounds into the corner to Nastasi, and a reach-in foul against Brian Sable. That will at least stop the clock quickly for Memorial. 7.4 seconds left to go, but once again, that'll send Nastasi, who just calmly and coolly knocked down a pair of foul shots, down the other way. Nastasi, 4 points in this game. Give him 5. He has knocked down his last 3 consecutive foul shots. Back to a 3-point lead for Riverdale, 38-35. Nastasi, a settling presence here in the fourth quarter. When there's been a lot of missed foul shots, he's hit all 4 of his foul shots. Hernandez 3 off the mark. Rebound secured by Carey, and Riverdale will come back to win here in the fourth quarter, rallying to win by a final of 39-35. And the Golden Hawks resilient. They didn't have their A game offensively, but they made the plays when it mattered the most at the end. Clutch foul shots by Chris Nastasi salted this one away. And for the Golden Hawks, they will improve to 5-2 on the season, 2-1 in this tournament. Memorial just did not have enough offense, and that's been their story so far this season. Great defense, but not enough offense, and the Tigers will fall to 2-5 on the season with the 39-35 setback. Leading scorers in this game for both sides. Elliot Nager finished with 15 points, but was held scoreless in that fourth quarter. And for Riverdale, they were led by Sean Golden's 12 points. As Golden, the impressive-looking junior, having a very nice tournament with 3 consecutive double-digit performances in this tournament. So that'll do it for our broadcast here. Thanks for tuning in to this coverage of Memorial taking on Riverdale, as we'll remind you to come back with us for the start of the third game coming up shortly, Clifton taking on Passaic. So for Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long from East Gym, and thanks for watching this basketball action as part of this Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament.